Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to the Ignited. We have no announcements and we have no reason to delay, so let's go ahead and jump right into meeting the people you're actually here to see, our Ignited.
Hello, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the social medias, including on Twitch, where I stream. I am the social media manager here at the Rolling Nomad, so all those posts that go out, that's me. Tonight, or this time zone, whenever you're watching this, I'll be playing Amelia Voldaren.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I'll be playing Nadidah. I don't do anything fun, I'm just here.
Well, hello again, family. I'm sorry, wrong game. Hi, yeah, it's me. I'm Avery at Averydaboi on all the social media platforms. I style myself something of an internet personality. I am the partnerships manager right here on the Rolling Nomads, and this time zone, I will be playing the Mole.
Well met, everyone. As you can see, we are missing a couple tonight, but that may be explained as we jump into tonight. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we begin each night, as we always do, with a recap. Amelia, I believe you have volunteered for tonight.
Yes, I have. Last we left, we arrived in a new part of the plane we are currently in, but before we could take in any of the sights or the scenery, I was told, and so was Kell, a member of our little party, as we'll call it, disappeared. I have no memory of this person, but that's what the mole and Nadidah say happened. Strange things keep occurring. However, soon after, a ship approached us, helmed by a woman with glowing eyes, accompanied by a haunting chorus. And this glowing-eyed woman called herself Inga Rune Eyes. The mole cast some spell that produced fruit for the crew of the ship and for us. He asked me a curious question of when was the last time I enjoyed fruit, which caught me off guard. When we boarded the ship and began our travel, we all gathered below deck to discuss what we've been dealing with thus far. Nadidah recounted a tale that the boy the mole is seeking saved her world, though it was strange because the descriptions didn't match up, and yet it was the same person. It's curious, though, when we started talking about the nature of our planeswalking, we felt the sickness wash over us. The mole and Cal were fine after a moment, but Nadidah and myself became very sick, retching. And I heard the sound of a great beast in its last throes of death. It was odd, but it told me that I am more than my lineage, something that gives me pause. I overheard a conversation between Cal and the mole. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but something about Cal's children, and it was cut off by, I'm not sure why, but then it continued. The mole and I also had a conversation. I was curious if he had experienced this rage that I had felt when I first left Innistrad. But rather than chewing on that, I was left with something else to think about, that we shouldn't be ashamed of our appetites. After some rest, we went above deck, and the mole talked about slaying some sort of knot rat. Had colors of the rainbow in its blood, and it was the size of a small cat. According to Inga, it had supped from the sap of the world tree, and that's why it was so strange. But we finally reached our destination of the Tusk Mountains, where we'll find one Tyvar Kell.
Very well done. And thank you for this recent events history lesson. Now, we join our heroes top deck, top side of this ship they've boarded. Now, last we left, I believe, Mole, you were hitching a ride on one of your companions. Can you remind me who that might have been?
He had previously been on Nadidah's shoulder, and I think after Inga hands him back, that's where he'll go back to.
Excellent. In this moment, as this happens, as this passing of the mole occurs, You all witness as Kell turns seemingly to ask a question to Igna. He fades, becomes ethereal, becomes translucent, and disappears. Need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw.
18.
7.
6.
Interesting turn of events. The dice do indeed tell tales. Nadidah, Mole, you carry no memory of Cal. This large, mammoth-esque sort of Loxodon has been traveling with you. Fades from existence and from your minds. It's gone. But Amelia, you remember. You know Cal. You may continue your scene.
I think Amelia would quickly walk over to the spot that Cal was in and... Is this what happened with the other companion?
What are you talking about, Amelia?
I have a who.
Our large friend, he is gone. Like you said, happened to whoever else was accompanying us yesterday.
The man-to-man.
Yeah, or sure? Yeah.
I don't remember.
About.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
Huh.
Igna looks to
some-
all of you and says, "Are you feeling alright?"
Fine.
I think I miss my burrow.
I have a pocket.
Oh, it's different. There are roots and smells and things. Pockets tend to smell like, well, pockets. A burrow has its own smell.
What if we got a box and put stuff in it that would be like a burrow?
Like a plant.
I think the unfortunate nature of the thing is now the mole's legend has grown too large to fit in a burrow.
Due to your slaying of the knot rat.
No. Due to the love of a boy.
But the whole world's your burrow now, right?
It will be. One day. So,
Igna, continue, please.
this Tyvar. Where does he frequent? Where are we meant to find? Now, remind me again. They are called... What? His kind. What are they called?
Elves.
Elves. And they are like nymphs?
You might say. But they are more serious, I'm afraid. More,
Love themselves?
that is a term, but Tyvar stands out as more jovial. As far as where he frequents, he's an adventurer, a traveler. Much like yourselves, he goes where he is needed most, I think.
And who decides where Tyvar is needed? Is it Tyvar?
Unfortunately, it is. So, you'll know when you meet him. Judgment might be skewed.
We will see.
As far as where we are going, the Tuskeri are one of the clans of Bredegard. They will honor the code It keeps peace between the clans, but I'm bringing strangers into their midst, and they will likely test you. They will likely try to see what cracks you might have. I must urge you to be steadfast. I'm not saying don't show weakness. What I'm saying is don't be intimidated.
They're gonna intentionally try to intimidate us, or?
Oh yes, most likely, yes.
And the spilling of their blood is frowned upon.
You can almost catch a bit of a grin tweak at the corners of her lips, and then she stops herself. Technically speaking, you are of no clan. Whatever blood you spill will be between you and them. But the bare warning, I could not get involved.
You would not need to, Lady your own eyes. The mole handles his business.
Take care. These are, as they say, no slouches when it comes to warfare and combat.
And they're... Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say that if they feel the need to prove how great their guts are, perhaps I will pull them out and show them to them.
Bit of bloodlust there, Mole.
I will not allow anyone to accost my friends. Those with whom I have sworn oaths. This plane shall know the name of the mole.
Noble.
I am sorry, Nadidah. I cut you off. What were you saying?
Is there a reason that they're this way? I mean, why would we be tested? Is this just a thing they do?
I find myself having asked that a number of times why they are the way that they are. They are, rambunctious is a kind word. Their primary focus is on greatness. They care next to nothing except for the performance of their epic feats and boasting outlandish tales to one another alongside fires.
They brag.
Braggadocious is one of the words that embodies their entire core, yes.
Do they have a god?
We all have the gods.
I specifically mean for braggarts.
For braggarts.
Themselves?
We have one where I come from. But he is also the god of revelry in general. His name is Xenagos.
What is your Xenagos like?
His joy is wonderful. His parties are amazing. But it is in equal proportion to his wrath when provoked. The god of revels does not abide by... How did the boy say? Party crashers.
I see. Not much like our gods. As far as the Tuskeri are concerned, Burji, the god of storytelling, otherwise sometimes commonly called the god of boasting. As well, they take very kindly to Halvar, the god of battle.
We shall see how fervently they have prayed to him then.
You have a moment before we make landfall and make the rest of the trek up the mountain. Gather your things, and if your friend has left anything behind, gather that as well. She commands her crew, preparing for a narrower strip of water, sailing up the river. The scene is yours. What would you all like to do?
I'll go below deck and make sure both mine and Kell's things are accounted for.
You go down, you do this, and Cal has left nothing. All trace of him is gone.
Interesting. Well, nothing to do about it now. I'll just gather what little I have and return above deck.
Nadidah,
Love.
are you afraid?
Of?
These people.
I probably should be, but not really. Sounds like they're just going to attempt to frighten us and probably boast with tales that aren't true.
I have found that most men boast of tales that aren't true.
It helps their egos. Are you afraid?
No. I am just worried.
What's wrong?
I have never raised my claws to a creature that walks on two legs and is a man. I don't want to hurt them. They are so fragile.
I don't think that anybody ever wants to hurt anyone else, but we have to protect our friends. We have to protect the people that we love.
Oh, I can assure you there are people that want to hurt each other. My boy, you call him Gideon. He fought against many men that desired to hurt people. Maybe not with their fists. But the hurt comes in many ways. Denying a child bread. Denying a man access to water. Forcing a man to live on the street because he simply does not have enough of the shiny to have a place to live with a roof over his head. All because the hurting man wants more of the shinies for himself.
I learned a long time ago that everything has to balance out. And unfortunately, there are those people that thrive on doing things that others don't like, or thinking that the world is going to become better because they have more shiny coins in their pocket.
That is the word. Coins. Now, I need some help with something. Can you help them all?
Of course, if I can.
What is the number that comes after 10?
11.
And he'll just keep going as they go through numbers.
Excellent.
Return at this point, I think, hearing counting.
You have a moment to gather up your things. I'd like to take this moment to get into the mindset of each of you individually. Just to... It's been less than a day. And you've learned quite a bit about your new surroundings. And now another companion has gone missing. Cast from time. I want to get everyone's thoughts on the current events, where you're headed, what you've already seen and gone through. Let's start with... whoever would like to volunteer themselves first.
I can go. I think Amelia is processing everything in a way, in the best way she knows how, which is calculation. How she can turn everything into an opportunity. And whenever she thinks of a way to perhaps undermine someone in order to stay on top of the head of the game, She remembers little tidbits of wisdom from the mole. And just kind of shakes her head and continues on. As far as with the companions disappearing, she doesn't want that to happen to her. It's a little worrisome that it could just happen, and not only could it happen, but she would be forgotten. And I think the last thing a creature concerned with legacy wants is to be forgotten. But as far as these elves are concerned, every vampire boasts and tries to one-up each other. Nothing I'm not used to. It should be fine. I have very little to worry about, besides everything else to worry about.
Understood. Whoever would like to go next?
I think as Nadidah and the mole continue to count, it seemed like a very innocuous question. What number comes after 27? What number comes after 62? But the reason for the asking of the question is not so innocuous. The mole has a very good memory for the faces of men. And he's trying to learn the number for the amount of faces he remembers that called his boy small and weak. Much like these elves, it seems, might have called his boy little and weak. Eventually, they will get to the number 108. And that is the number of men that when he brings the boy home, he will make them apologize. Because remarking on someone's size is nothing that they can control. And he became quite big and strong and helped many people, if Nadidah is to be believed. Justice. That is what the mole is concerned with.
Understood. And finally, Nadidah.
A lot to process. She's trying very hard to make sure that nothing is forgotten, which is why she started writing everything down. And she keeps trying very hard not to relive those last words she heard before she disappeared. It just keeps calling on everything she was taught when she fell. That everything has a reason, everything has a purpose, and there's always just has to find the right space and keep remembering to stay balanced.
Indeed. As you all reflect, remembering bits and pieces from your own past, the future, the present, marches ever onward. Eventually you are called up, landfall is made. The ship is secure. Amelia explains that only she may accompany you. The rest have to remain here. She says, even with so few, 3 strangers, it's possible that Arni sees this as a declaration, a show of force somehow. To bring any more would be, well, it would assure it. So it's you and I.
Arni, who is this?
The leader of the Tuskeri. Whereas Tyvar is among the elves and an adventurer in his own right. Arni is he is their leader. He is their captain, I guess you could say. The Tuskeri, the title of leader of the Tuskeri falls to any who has done a remarkable feat, the most remarkable feat, bestowed almost as a reward. So it can frequently change. But Arni has held it for long. Because he continues to do incredible things throughout the world. I don't know why Tyvar is visiting. I'll be honest with you. But Arni will likely be testing him as well. To Tyvar's joy.
Do you think that is the reason for Tyvar's visit? You said he was a warrior. Warriors must test themselves.
Perhaps. I don't see why Tyvar would bother Arni, if I'm being honest. There is still... Tyvar may be a standout from amongst his people, but he is still an elf, and there is a pride that comes with that. His people were once the gods of this world.
What do the runes say?
She looks up the mountain, and almost through the clouds, as if she's peering to the peak itself. Tell me that he is here for a story. To continue a saga that he started long ago. And that Arni is merely a footnote.
Do you know if they have met before?
Oh, yes.
Arni.
They are... well, Arni would call him a rival, but Tyvar would call him probably a few things that are a bit rude.
Would he call him shit?
Most likely. But Tyvar is still known to drink and share a meal with him, so I'm sure it's all in good jest and good fun.
We putting you in harm's way by doing this? By you taking us up there?
She pauses, and I would like, in that pause, for everyone to give me an insight check.
11.
Natural 20.
And
11 and 10, it's difficult to read. It's as if she's listening again, consulting what runes glaze over her eyes. Thinking. But Mole, you know she's considering lying. And in that pause, you know that the answer is yes. And she says, no more danger than I would be coming here alone. Perhaps even now my chances are greater.
what would happen if we went without you? We were sent.
I fear without my word, Tyvar might not take the situation as seriously. Even with me there, he might see it as another opportunity to gallivant.
I will make him hear me.
It's not him that needs to hear you initially. If you were to go alone, then Arni would test you just the same. And there would be a question of who you are, where you come from. You would have no one to corroborate your story. At the very least, I can vouch for who you say you are. in the strangeness of your occurrence. Arni is not a wise or cunning man.
He is a rotting pig.
Careful.
Is this an insult?
Depends on if you have the time to explain it. Come, let's talk and walk. She bids farewell to her crew as you begin to make your way up the mountain. If there's anything you guys would like to discuss or learn or ask Igna, now is the time.
After simply listening to what everyone was saying, and Amelia would pipe up after a moment of silence, asking, these elves were the gods of this land.
The elves were. They were called the Ainir.
How did they fall?
They did not fall. They were pushed. The Scoti rose and supplanted them. Kaldheim is no stranger to battle, to combat, to the rise and fall of clans, and the gods are no different. The Scoti, the family of which you've met, supplanted the Einar, imprisoned what remained of them in trees across their home, keeping their people close to their gods. Perhaps as a kindness, but also perhaps as a warning to never reach too far ever again.
Few things can stop someone with enough ambition.
So your gods are not gods at all.
How do you mean?
They are just powerful. There is nothing that separates them from the rest of you but power.
Is there a
No,
difference?
Oh, yes. The gods of my home, they cannot be killed. At least not by mortal men. Not even really by each other without special implements.
This level of mortality it's unheard of here.
I always like to preface these things with, yet. Do you not think the one who is friends with ravens would find this if he had time?
They have found a way to prolong their life, to heal from great wounds. But what you're saying is beyond them. To truly...
For now.
To brush away death is something I'm sure Alrund would be incredibly interested in. To secure his family's seat of power, always and forever.
Then perhaps one day he will really be a god.
She smiles. Be careful. Careful.
It is he who should be careful of me.
Alrund
Essica was kind, though.
I hear that she is.
She deserves it.
Godhood.
Yes.
Isn't she already?
She's the
These
keeper.
people call her god, but she has none of the powers that I understand from the gods. They require a squirrel with a magical tail to bring them prayers. The gods of my home listen. They care for us. Even those that we fear, like the god of death, Erebos. He abhors the killing, but he receives all souls upon their death.
How does one deserve godhood?
Being just. Doing what is right, even when it is difficult.
I am
And
curious.
choosing a domain. Grufix. Oh, the god I am most familiar with, Grufix, is the god of fate. Weaving the strands of destiny together. And there is Heliod, the god of the sun. Erebos, the god of the dead. You must choose a domain. And you must be just. And you must be so in tune with what you are that you are inseparable from it. And I believe that is why they cannot die. Because how can destiny die? How can revelry die? How can death die?
But how did death become a god? How did any of them become a god?
They were the children of titans. Then they rose to the divine realm of Nyx.
I want to pause this for a moment because there's a couple things I would like to get once again just prying into your minds. The mole is speaking of gods, Amelia, Nadidah. Now, where you come from, while separate, there is a interesting viewpoint on gods. For Amelia, Innistrad has no gods. They have angels in the Church of Avacyn, primal powers that the witches of the Dawn Heart Coven worship and bring into existence. There is a god that one of your bloodlines, one of the vampiric natured, seem to have claimed that he found. But no gods that you've seen, no gods that have answered prayers or come and borne witness. And for Nadidah, there are primal powers on Zendikar, elemental creatures. And the merfolk had gods once. Amiria, Kosi, and Ula. And perhaps it's the word titans that really brings this into your heart and into your mind, because they were lies. False gods, long since forgotten. You remember when the Titans rose, the Eldrazi. But they were here before that. Long, long, long ago. They rose and were struck down by creatures and planeswalkers of legend. And then they rose again. After they had been forgotten, after their myth, after their story had changed them into gods. When they rose again, the people were in despair. The merfolk especially, as their gods were lies. Creatures and beings of absolute destruction. So during this conversation about gods, it's an incredibly different viewpoint. One of you has had no gods, and the other has seen gods that are lies. please let the scene continue. With this in mind.
I just
What?
mean to say that at the end of all things, at the end of this conversation, there must be some recognition that being worshipped does not make you a god. Being a god makes you a god.
But what you're saying is that, essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, because there are those considered gods that were not born of the Titans. So,
There are
if you...
demigods, but the entirety of the family of gods of my world are all the children of the Titans. Some of them are children of other gods, but when a god and a god get down, I guess it makes another god.
And what of those who make their own path and destiny? Could they not be considered a god of their own life?
If you would like to wax philosophical, perhaps. But, again, being a god makes you a god. Not thinking you are a god, not philosophizing about the ethics of being a god.
So you choose a domain, and you're just in whatever realm.
You must grow to that domain to a point where you become inseparable from it. The idea of destiny on my world, Theros, is indivisible from Gruvix. When one thinks about the shining rays of the sun, one peers into the face of Heliod. When one smells the growing plants and the rain, one feels the kiss of Karametra.
This is all foreign to me. Now look to the mole. We have no gods.
But you do have monsters.
Who doesn't have monsters?
You also had monsters, and no gods.
I had monsters, but I had gods. Well, we
Well
had
then,
gods.
well then, if you had no gods but you had monsters, who would kill the monsters?
People. My father.
And you are certain your father was, his father or mother was not a god? It is quite common in Theros that the heroes which slay the monsters are, we call them demigods. The children of the gods with a mortal.
I'm tempted to call for a check, but let's ask a question first. Amelia, as Nadidah's lineage is brought up, and the question of, are you sure your father's father was not a god? You smell celestial blood on Nadidah. You have been for a while now. Is there any sort of crack in the face or in the stoicism or the nature of Amelia that your companions might see? Or is there something... I'll leave this in your court if there is a check to be made to keep your composure.
When asked who slays the monsters, Amelia laughed. And she thought for a moment and decided better than to say anything. And when that question was posed, her eyes would shift to Nadidah, and her eyebrow would twitch. But again, keeping her cards close to her chest.
Understood. I would like a, no check from you, but I'm going to set a DC. Nadidah and the mole, what is your passive perception? as you guys are in conversation and aren't explicitly looking for Amelia's reactions.
19.
14?
Understood. Of course, you guys caught the laugh. It's difficult not to. The glance, Mole, you see it. Maybe you catch it right at the end as her eyes right themselves. What you guys do with the information is entirely up to you. Please continue.
I can tell by your pause you aren't sure.
I don't believe so. But I pause only because I have to separate the adoration and the belief.
You
That my
believed in him.
My father was my hero. I watched him fight, and he fights, and the eyes of a child see very differently than the eyes of someone else. So to me, my father was a god.
I understand. I wish I could do more to comfort you. Would you bring him back if you could?
He's alive, I hope. If she didn't kill him.
You are unsure?
I don't know what happened when I left.
You were hurt when you arrived. Did something happen?
There was a fight between my father and the woman that I thought was my mother. She wanted me to get married and settle down and do all the normal things that we're supposed to do. But he was horrible. My father told her no. The last thing I remember was her screaming at my father that he should have killed me because I was going to be just like her. I was going to be just like my mother.
What does that mean to you?
I want to know who my real mother was. But it explains a lot. It explains why she hated me so much. It explains why nothing I ever did was good enough. It explains why I was so very, very different from the way she is.
And the words still echo even now. Nadidah. She's just like her demon mother. You should have killed her when she was born.
Oh, how different your life would be if you would have been a mole, Nadidah.
I enjoyed flying through the trees.
I had a friend who was a sparrow. Perhaps that would have suited you better.
Perhaps. That would
Did-
land better.
Did you know there are some fish that jump out of the water and attempt to fly?
Yes.
They are my favorites. Though I must confess, I watched one of them nearly drag my boy into the river once, and it was quite frightening.
That's horrible.
I don't mean to interrupt. We are coming upon his fortress. Are you prepared?
As prepared as I can be.
Are we walking earth, ground, rock?
Oh, without a doubt, earth and rock. This place is difficult. While you guys have been having this conversation, it's been a steady upward slope, and in certain spots it becomes almost, I think, impossible angle. It has been quite the trek. Time has passed. Now you can see up ahead there are banners. And wood and stone are carved and cut, creating a sort of makeshift almost entrance into a mountain. It's not pretty. There is a wooden wall around the area. Now there are parts that are easily snuck into. Doesn't quite reach the top of stonework, or the bottom sometimes, if you were to crawl and climb, could sneak your way under the wall, but it's almost, with the spikes and the banners and the archers that stand along the ramparts, they seem to invite the challenge. And they're watching Igna as you all begin to approach. And they all size you up as you walk. What's your play here, party? You make yourself small? Do you stand tall and dare them to say something to you? What's your vibe as you go into this place?
Nadidah's gonna pause just for a minute. And just crouch down and kind of sink her fingers into the earth and just bow her head for a minute. She's just quiet. Taking a couple deep breaths, and then she's gonna stand up, and she's proud. It's not a threatening. It's not anything that says I'm better than you, but she's not going to show fear.
Amelia is using her resources. She stands behind Inga, letting her do the talking as she assesses the situation further, but she will size everyone up that she sees quickly. And say nothing. At least not yet.
Understood. Well, the question stands for you as well, but you're in a unique situation. You are a mole. You can simply not be seen if you so wish.
I think the mole is just going to stay curled up on Nadidah's shoulder for now. He's going to take a page out of the book that he's been watching Amelia read, which is Let Them Underestimate You.
Understood. As you all pass through the walls, these warriors, clad in leathers, stained and dyed red in certain spots, hair braided back, faces painted some by some. They seem rough, dirty almost. And they don't snarl or, bare teeth at you. Some of them chuckle as they see Igna and you walk through. Most of them are stoic, eyes steadily watching all of you. Unblinking. Waiting. Doors are opened to a long hall. There are tables lined, 2 on each side, alongside the entire distance of the building, where there is noise and drinking. And it doesn't stop when you enter. It does die down a bit as they see the newcomers, and then there are whispers of Igna Runais. The Omen Seekers are here. What do they bring us today, do you think? The drinking continues. Meat is chewed. The scents of this place are of cooked meats and burning wood. It's warm in here compared to outside. It's almost inviting. And perhaps it would be if the doors weren't quickly closed behind you. You are surrounded by warriors. At the head of all of this is a man lounged in a large chair made of bone and furs and leathers, hastily strung together with string and rope. It's not pretty. The back of it is carved, a slab of wood, intricately carved and integrated into this seat. As he lounges, while some other, shirtless, pale, Nadidah you would know as an elf, pointed ears, red hair, cascading down his back, tells a story to this man lounged in his chair covered in furs and leathers. He chuckles, glances over at the, 4 of you as you enter, and he rights himself, and then you realize something is wrong with him. You notice his hair and his beard first, the red hair, the red beard, untamed. He looks strong and rugged. Now, the only thing you really can focus on is the shard, this fang or horn that not is protruding or growing from his own head, but something else stuck into his skull. It's not bleeding. It's certainly not a part of him or grown from him, but it's a foreign object just lodged into his skull. It sort of stops the elf with a hand. Igna! What have you brought? Arni Broken Brow. And that is where we're going to pause and take our break. And through the magic of editing, dear viewers, we will see you all in mere seconds. We'll see you very soon.
I'm not entirely sure what I've stumbled upon in this village. I'm all the places I've ever been. Before this place, this knoll is the most like that place where I go when I sleep. Skittering, scuttling, murmuring, muttering. The wind blows the leaves, drown the whispered words of the ancient foe, where hides the beating heart of Tevesereth. An idiot god screams in the deep places, calling for its kin, and I can hear it. I will not be eaten. My heart pounds like the drums in that deep place. Thunder pales and snow deafens. The water rises. Seize the weapon. Blood mingles dynasty. Remember, never forgive, never surrender. The jail of the gods is bereft of the enemy that once it held.
Long have you been my warden? Did you think you could stop all of my plans? I know you can feel yourself fading, growing weaker as my contingency unfolds. Brother, don't you see? In the end, we are nothing alike. I know you have assembled your own consortium against me. So, brother, when you fall, just as the shattered gate watch before you, this eternal vanguard and the entire multiverse will contest with my ignited.
America has always been a place where conservatism and religious ideology has been fed by men to the uneducated like milk from their mother's teat. What this breeds is an environment for blind obeisance and ignorant fear, which controls the masses just as much as the blood of the covenant or the barrel of a gun. Men bring the raising of ground and the pillaging of Gaia's bounty, and this has never been more of a threat to the Garu nation than it is now in the days of the apocalypse. However, all of this is where this story begins, but not yet where the tale begins. For that, we will need to reach back through the time and haze of the deep umbra to find the beginning. Walk with me, little wolf, and reach us through time will show you a story that even ancient Phoenix has forgotten.
And welcome back, my friends. For the magic of editing, it has been a mere maybe second, maybe a few milliseconds for you, but it feels like an eternity for us. So, jumping right back into it. Arni Brokenbrow is called to Igna. She says, "Hope you fare well, Arni. You all seem to be in jovial spirit." He says, "We are. There's been a hunt. We were successful. Now, Igna, coming here in such force, bring me new combatants? Some might think this is a declaration of victory, maybe of war." She shakes her head. "We don't come to seek you. We come for him." And she gestures over to the elf. Again, shirtless. There's a tattoo that goes across his shoulders and into his chest. He's sitting with a drink in his hand. The armor along his bracers and gloves is gold, it looks like, or some sort of polished brass, as well as wearing a head crown that drapes around the cheeks and the brow. Pale, almost like snow-bitten skin, pointed ears, and beautifully long red and braided hair. He rises. "Igna! It's been far too long," and he steps down off of the step and opens his arms wide. You can see the muscles sort of tensed up as he reaches out. She does not as enthusiastically reach for a hug as he does, but he scoops her up and sort of not shakes her, but moves her left and right a few times. Says, "How have the seas? How are you? How are your travels? And who are these?" And Arni chimes in and says, any business must be brought to me first. And Tyvar kind of rolls his eyes, goes back to Arni and says, I'll let you get to it.
I think the mole will lean into Nadidah's ear. He'll say to this Arni that he is making a mountain out of a molehill.
At risk of encouraging this type of behavior, I will grant you an inspiration, Mole. Because though they are the bane of my existence, I can acknowledge a good pun when I hear one. And Arni looks to all of you and says, names, titles. Do you know whose roof you're sitting under?
Amelia will straighten her shoulders, raise her chin, and just simply say, Amelia.
Amelia.
That's all.
Just Amelia.
Simple.
Sorry for you. Who else is here?
Pull her hair over a little, just kind of cover the mole. Just. I am Nadidah, Isaroppia.
Nadidah Isaroppia. Is there a title to match such a long name?
None that I can speak of freely.
Mm-hmm. Nadidah, secret keeper. We'll see how welcome you are in my hall. I'm Arni Brokenbrow, slayer of trolls, master of the scary, and lord of the Tusk Mountains. And your escort should have warned you. When one of the clans comes, they come alone. Or it's a declaration of combat. So which of you will face me now? Ignis steps up and says, there's no combat necessary. These are wayward travelers.
Nadidah, set me down. He is not so big. I can take him.
Over here, back. Hold her hand out for the mole.
Crawl into Nadidah's hand.
You come bearing gifts.
You want a fight, Arni Brokenbrow?
Scratches at where this bit of carapace, this horn or whatever protrusion, he scratches at the base of it. Strange gift indeed. Funny little thing.
The cut on your lip that I give you will be a strange gift. I am Hunger Slayer. I am friend to the bearer of secrets. I am he who was born in the fires of the Immersturm. You want a fight, Arni Brokenbrow? I will break you.
Yes. Gets up and picks his sword that's leaning up against his chair on the left. And Ignis steps up. And it looks almost as if she's going to step in front of you, Mole, but she steps to your side. Says, there's no need for this, Arni. Come not with cruelty in mind. I come with, and he interrupts and says, no, this little demon thing wants to test his mettle. I admire it.
You are a bully and unworthy of your legacy.
You think so?
I will show you.
He looks at the diners in the hall. And Tyvar has crossed his arms by now and is now assessing this small creature that is calling forth the leader of Tuscari. And Arni, go on, please.
If you would be okay with it, I would like to use one of my Planeswalker spells.
What would you like to do?
In calling for this combat, I would like to cast Compelled Duel on Arni Brokenbrow.
Describe for me Compelled Duel.
One creature that you can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, that creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine demand. For the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move into a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds on this saving throw, this spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn. The spell ends if I attack another creature, if I cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target, and if a creature friendly to me damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it, or if I end my turn more than 30 feet away from the target.
Understood. Describe for me the save one more time.
Wisdom saving throw.
Understood. That is a natural 20 on his part. He's not compelled. He feels this. He's not supernaturally or magically so. He sort of puts his arms out and looks to the diners that are in the hall and says, "What do you think, Tuskeri? Do I sully my blade with this little demonling?" And there are calls out throughout. And Mole, I would like your mindset as you hear them call out. It's not worth it. Look at him. The leader Tuskeri fighting, slaying rats? No.
He just memorizes their faces because he learned new numbers today. 109, 110, 111.
Are you afraid of a demonling?
No. But I have dogs for it.
When I am done with you, your name will not be Broken Brow. It will be Broken Pride. And I dedicate the honor of your defeat to Tyvar Kell.
It's a very different reaction. It's just Tuskeri looked at Tyvar, his arms folded across his chest. And you can see he doesn't even begin to fight. He doesn't even begin to fight a grin. He smiles, gives a nod. And Arni looks at him, and the smugness leaves him. Turns to a sour sort of, not hatred. But you can see that there's distaste there. It says, "Come into my home as an interloper and dedicate my supposed defeat to one of my honored guests?"
The way I hear it, a rival. The way I hear it, once one of your gods.
You recognize no god here but Halvar and Alrund and Tovar.
Today you recognize the gods Fang and Claw. Are you going to keep talking or shall I beat you now?
And I tried to use blind deafness on Artie to make him blind.
You absolutely may. Detail blindness deafness. I believe you choose one of the effects, correct?
Blind, yes. You can blind or deafen a foe. Choose one creature that you can see within range to make a Constitution saving throw. If it fails, the target is either blinded or deafened, your choice. For the duration, at the end of each of its turns, the target can make a Constitution saving throw. On a success, the spell ends. The range is 30 feet. But she would like to try to blind Artie after saying, "You truly, sir, might wish to fear the mole."
Do me a favor. Is there any components for this, or is this based on your focus?
No, sir.
Okay. Excellent. I am going to roll a Constitution saving throw for Arnie.
Okay.
What is your spell DC?
It is, it's a Constitution 14 per the book. I think that you have to roll.
Excellent.
Yeah, it says Con 14, so.
Cool. Now, Nadidah, there is a very specific, there's a specific type of thing that a sorcerer could take in order to subtly cast spells. Unfortunately, you are no sorcerer, and you do not have access to this. It will be blatant that you use this magic. It's not a, this is not to stop you from doing so, but I would like to, 1, make you aware, and 2, ask what this looks like whenever you cast. You've spoken, you've made yourself be seen. What does the magic look like as it leaves your lips, your being, and blinds Arni Brokenbrow?
She just says what she says, and she simply moves her fingers, and I would say probably small blue, I want to say like a smoke wafts from her to him.
And it perhaps that's to your benefit, as it is difficult to catch from the where everyone is seated in the hall eating food, as the blue mist kind of collides and crackles along the smoke of the fire and the smell of cooked meats. It drifts into his eyes, and you all see they glaze over into blue, and it fades into a pale white. The iris is no longer with color. He raises his sword and says, I'm Arni Brokenbrow. I fear nothing. So make your move, the mole.
Do you have children, Arni?
Arun has not blessed me with them.
Good. Then I won't be making orphans today.
It is your turn, mole.
I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Zephyr Strike. And I'm going to move into attack him with Primal Savagery.
Understood. Zephyr Strike you used on the rat. Well, the not rat, as we
Correct.
lovingly dubbed it.
Concentration for up to a minute. Once before the spell ends, I can give myself advantage. And the attack that I give myself advantage on gives me an extra d8 force damage on hit. Whether I hit or miss, my walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn. So I'm going to actually just hold on to the actual like d8 and advantage for right now, and I'm just going to go in with the Primal Savagery to start.
Copy all.
That is a 19 on the die, plus 7 to hit, so that'll be a 26 against his armor class.
That hits. Let's have some damage.
And just for my edification, Arni Brokenbrow does not have the creature type of monstrosity, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That'll be 6 acid damage.
6 acid damage taken as your strike reaches where? Where does this pierce him? Well,
Not very high up on the body at all, for sure. As he moves forward and leaps, just taking his claws, which have now extended by several inches on his hands, and cuts into the inside of his knee, ripping a burning, acid-covered wound in the inside of his knee.
you do this. It cuts in deep, deeper than perhaps even he expected, and he is, at the current moment, blind. Igna, during this turn, there will be moments for conversation, for commentary from Amelia and Nadidah, if you so wish. And Igna says, I urged you all to be on your best behavior, and this is... he challenges him in his own hall.
Well, I suppose a better way to test our mettle than in combat with the leader.
He asked which one of us was gonna combat him.
I had the situation under control.
What? You
And-
can't control a mole. The mole.
And indeed you can't, as it passes from the mole to Arni Brokenbrow's turn. Now, he is blind, so I believe this grants disadvantage, correct, Nadidah?
Yes. At the end of your turn, you could try to make a Constitution saving throw, but it would have to be the end.
What is your armor class, Mole?
The mole's armor class is 16.
He's a strong little mole.
Makes sense. Tiny things are notoriously difficult to hit. So, as the paleness has taken his eyes, he doesn't seem to acknowledge it. He doesn't seem to pay it any mind. You know it has affected him, Nadidah. You know that he can't see, but it's as if this may have happened before, or he's just not willing to show any weakness in front of Tuskeri. But he drags his sword down across the dirt and the ground of the hall. And within about 6 inches from you, Mole, you can see it misses, and you see a flash of your reflection as the blade passes in front of you. And he brings it up again and waiting for a response. And says, "Demons don't die that easy. Come on. What's next?" It's your turn, Mole.
I think the mole will just respond with, "You can lay down your sword, Arni, and I will accept your defeat with honor."
Do you know how I received this treasure?
I don't care.
You learn
My
now.
concern is for your life, Arni. I don't want to kill you without cause.
I have faced trolls, demons, omen seekers. I'll not die to a common pest.
Face trolls, yes. But you have never faced the mole.
And the mole will move into attack again. I will use my attack and a d8 force damage from Zephyr Strike, but I'll also use my new class feature, Planar Warrior. Which, for a description, at 3rd level, you learn to draw on the energy of the blind eternities to augment your attacks. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and the creature takes an extra 1d8 force damage from the attack. So I think
Understood.
with the Zephyr Strike, the mole is going to launch himself directly into Arni's chest, and instead of clawing him, is just going to hit him flatly in the chest with the palm of his little mitten hand.
Understood.
An 18 versus his armor class.
And 18 hits.
So that is a d10 plus 2d8, and all of this is force damage. 22 points of force damage.
22 points of force damage. Now, you all see the mole, quick as lightning, launch himself from the ground into Arni's chest, and it becomes... it's like a stone. It launches and forces... this impact forces the leathers to bend and almost ripple out. Is it... you, especially Mole, can hear the crack of bone. A few ribs break. Arni just... and Igna looks to Nadidah and Amelia. I think perhaps I may have jumped to conclusions.
Perhaps.
We tried
Okay.
to warn him.
Tyvar says, "What is this little creature?"
The mole.
Arni stumbles backwards. Mole, do you cling to the chest piece, or are you going to allow yourself to hit the ground again?
I think the mole will cling to him. He says,
If you stab me now, you could take my life, Arni. But you will take your life as well. Do you really want to die to a mole?
He opens his mouth to speak, and there is not a flood, but a bit of mist that comes down and sort of paints the top of your head, Mole, as mist of blood comes down and says, "I will not yield."
Then I will have to break your fingers. Because I will not take your life today, Arni.
He reaches for his hip and pulls a dagger. And he is going to strike. Now,
Did you make your Constitution saving throw on
No,
Arnie's
I did
turn, by the way?
No, I did not. On the last turn, no.
Never let it be said I don't play the game fair.
With a 17 on the die, blindness fades up from his first turn. Nadidah, because I did forget, you would know from the spell that this did fade. During that brief bit of conversation, you may recast if you so choose. As well as Amelia, you may interject if you so choose as well. Or you may simply let things play out.
I have a really probably weird question.
We love weird questions.
Well, not weird, but okay. Planeswalker, brand new. Am I able to use my Planeswalker spells?
Absolutely. So the way narratively this will work is you will want to do something. You will want to reach out and cause something to happen. And though Nadidah is unaware of how this will manifest, mechanically speaking, and as players, we will know that you want to cast a certain spell. So while Nadidah will be shocked, we of course will not be.
Then I would like to use Dissonant Whispers.
Detail Dissonant Whispers for me.
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with a terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 2d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Understood. What is the throw again? The saving throw?
Saving throw. Wisdom saving throw, I'm sorry.
14, correct?
Yes, 14. Sorry.
Okay. This is a successful save. So, is there anything that happens on a successful save, or is this just a missed opportunity for the spell?
It's a missed opportunity from me.
Understood. Dissonant Whispers is cast and it finds no purchase. Nadidah, you can feel the strange whispers hit his ears, but almost blinded, or rather deafened by the throes of combat. He pulls his dagger, aims it toward his own chest, and says, "I will not yield. But you have proven yourself. Yield now and you will be welcome in my hall."
I will yield to you, Arni. I would if it were just me, but I dedicated your defeat to Tyvar. And I need him much more than I need you. Is stabbing yourself over a mole really something you want? Think of what they will say behind closed doors about you, Arni.
Give me an insight check.
Arni wrestled by moles.
It's not great, but my insight is pretty decent. Let's see here. So I get a +7 to insight. 8 on the dice, so that'll take me to a 15.
15. As shocking no one, I'm sure. He's a pretty easy person to read. In this mole, he's weighing things out. The wheels are really turning. And to a degree, you can understand it. You've disrespected him in his home, amongst his people. He has things to prove here. But glancing around at the Tuskeri, they aren't paying attention to this. This is beneath the Tuskeri. This is beneath their leader. And this is foolish. This is nothing to write a saga about. This is no story. This is dumb. So the fact that he's willing to go to these lengths, he's probably misinterpreted the fact that they care based on how much, like, in the past he's had to prove himself. He has grossly over-anticipated how much this fight will affect his street cred.
If you submit, now your men are not even looking, Arni. They don't care. It'll be our secret, and I won't even tell it to Toski when I see him again.
This is very out of turn order, but I would like a persuasion check.
Not great. 14.
He takes the dagger.
Can I use my inspiration for the molehill joke?
You absolutely can.
Okay. Just a d6?
Oh no, it's a full reroll. An inspiration granted by DM is a choice to, like, take another d20 and roll with advantage.
I'm not shitting you. That's a natural 20. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy.
He takes the dagger, brings it swift, quick, down against his chest, and it's close. Well, you can feel the wind pass as he leans down with this thrust. It doesn't pierce his armor, though. He says, "Put me in a strange situation, you know that. What am I supposed to do now from this?"
Whatever you want, no one was even watching. They think it's, shit.
Igna was. Tyvar was.
Igna owes me a debt. I fed our crew. Tyvar will owe me a debt because I will be better at what he does than him.
You make things very difficult, you know that, you little...
Ah, careful. You know who my friends are.
This isn't over.
You have to start thinking, Arni.
This isn't over. And he pulls you from the chest and raises you up and says, "Behold!" I said, "Behold!" And he looks to his Tuskeri, who have taken back to their meat, and look up. We have reached an impasse, a conclusion to our battle. Let all who know, and all who have seen, bear witness to the mole. Fiercest of the creatures of the ground. Friend to the Tuskeri. There's a sort of awkward clap and a couple people just... Yeah!
I'll kind of lean down to Arni.
One day I will come back here, Arni. And people will call you Broken Brow no more. They will call you Arni the Wise when I am done with you.
Thank you. And he kind of sets you on the ground and urges you forward to your friends.
In stark contrast, now that he's blown the Zephyr Strike, he will waddle very slowly back over to Nadidah.
I'm just gonna walk over and pick him up and put him back on her shoulder.
Show me to the elf. I want to see his face.
Are you gonna behave this time?
Yes. He was being a bully. He needed put in his place.
Okay.
Arni looks and calls over and says, Igna, bring strange folk. But, grab a drink, come sit, discuss what we need to discuss. Your, companion is welcome here. And his friends. No one say Arni Broken Brow is not charitable.
He is kind of a shit, though.
Igna looks at you, Mole, and just like, he is a bit of a shit, but I don't... Forgive me, I think I may have underestimated you again, and I must apologize.
I will make him a wise king before his life is over.
How long do moles live? And she walks up to go treat with Arni.
I actually don't know the answer to her question. I don't know how long moles live.
We'll find out.
Tyvar sort of goes to clap you on the back, Mole, and then thinks better of it as he chooses a new target. As he claps you on the back, Nadidah, and says, as long as their stories are told. Welcome, and I accept your generous success, the Mole.
It was for your victory over Arni.
I earned my victories myself, but I appreciate the sentiment. To what do I owe the pleasure? You've come seeking me.
You will teach us.
I am afraid I am not yet of teaching age. Most of my warriors, of my people, wait until they are old and unable to seek their own glory on their own, to pass the knowledge to...
Esika sent us to you. Show him the knot rat.
Oh, the knot rat. We kept the knot rat. We kept the knot rat.
Yep, not right.
Kept the knot rat. Okay, you ask a lot, little thing. So she's gonna dig for the knot rat. I need a new bag.
You do need a new bag.
She said it out loud. I need a new bag. Look.
I'll get you one before we leave.
And Tyvar looks it over and says, and what was this little thing?
It certainly was not a rat.
The knot rat.
It is almost a rat.
It appears that it has supped from the sap of the tree.
Oh, I see. And this is... Well, I can understand why it would be concerning, but you don't seem to be... Did you also sup from the sap of the tree?
No, I am just a mole. Perhaps if more of you large folk took the time to talk to a mole, you would realize we are smarter than you think.
I have never seen a mole do something like that.
I am the mole. That is neither here nor there, Tyvar. Esika says you will teach us how to planeswalk.
To planeswalk? Oh, I see. I understand. Oh, I was unaware. Are you... Did the captain sense you?
No one sent us, other than Esika.
Who's the captain?
Unaffiliated. Oh, wow. Goodness. Where are you all from? Perhaps I've been. Please come. And he will guide you toward a table occupied by other Tuskeri. As he takes a seat. sort of makes them make room for all of you, and sort of takes plates from the center, and calls down to have meat and mead passed. They make space.
Do they have any beetles?
At the table, unfortunately, no.
I think the mole will just reach into his own little pouch that he's made for one of the worms that Nadidah found for him on the beach.
I am from Theros.
From Theros! Oh, I know someone from Theros!
Who do you know from Theros?
Their name is Nico Aris. They are from, Malitis.
Meletis.
That one!
I am familiar with the Meletians. I am from Akros.
I am unfamiliar with Akros.
It is a shame.
From Theros, how fortuitous. I will have to see if Nico is nearby, I suppose.
That would be nice. I would like to speak the tongue of my homeland again.
They frequent here, you know. They are called Silver Hair.
Do they have silver hair?
The ends of it, yes.
That is a stupid name then.
I like it. Speaking of silver hair, pale lady.
She stops, she pauses, calculates. She knows better than to lie to someone who knows more than her. Innistrad.
I have not been to Innistrad. I am told that Innistrad has a lord that manages everything. Is he quite powerful?
Quite, yes. Something to that effect.
There are precious few of us that are allowed to be there. This Lord of Innistrad keeps a very tight rein on any of us that choose to travel there.
Yes, well, we don't receive a lot of guests for that reason.
Well, I would love to visit one day, and perhaps see what your home has to offer.
I'm sure we'd love to have you.
And you, Miss
From Zendikar.
Zendikar. I have heard. Been once, and couldn't quite find my footing. And he looks very pointedly as, like, Nadidah, you would understand the joke, but he looks very eager for you to understand the joke.
It's difficult.
It is. It really is. I admire anyone who is able to call that place home. It seems as if you're constantly fighting with the land itself.
Is this where you are from?
Here, yes. Kaldheim, yes. Here, Bredegard, no. I am home. I call my home Skemfar.
With the rest of the Einar.
How did you learn that word?
The mole listens.
He smiles and says, the Einar is a word, yes. It's an old name. And we are just elves now.
No, you are not. You have allowed yourself to be what the Scotti have made you.
Any pain or ill will that my people might have toward the Scotti are... It is not my war.
It is not. But who you are, that is your concern.
Indeed.
And I think you know who you are, Tyvar.
More so than most.
Why did you come here for Arni?
It was one of my favorite places to drink, to enjoy a good story. Arnie and I have been competitive the past number of years. And on my travels, whenever I can, I come in and remind him that he is, what did Nico say? Nothing to scrawl about.
Well, can you teach us or not?
To planeswalk.
No, to read.
I could do both. But yes, I can. But you must understand that I mean it when I say I'm not of teaching age. I can't slow down, Mole, and my duties are vast and wide. You'll have to travel with me and keep up. You'll learn on the fly, you'll learn with every step you take. It will not be peaceful, it will not be a mead hall. You will face monsters. You will fight creatures beyond your imagination. But at the end of it all, when you are finally able to return home, the stories they tell of you here will live forever.
I'm not concerned with stories. I'm concerned with a boy.
You have left someone behind.
No. I am told his name is called Gideon.
Gideon.
A planeswalker. Powerful, from what Nadidah says.
I know him.
Then you will teach me to do this and you will tell me where I can find him.
Give me an insight check, everyone at the table.
25.
1.
Understood.
I have a 9.
With a 1, Amelia, he's a lot. He's high energy, and his smile hasn't broken until now. He's jovial and loud, and he's probably the loudest person in this sort of mead hall, which is really saying something. He's just a lot. So maybe it's a little much. Maybe it's a little bit of too much sound, too much noise. Nadidah, it's strange. He reminds you of certain warriors back home. There's a boastfulness here. There's a pride. He's much like Amelia. He's a lot. So it's difficult to read. But Mole, you can see the little things in his face. Smile hasn't cracked. The tone of voice, the subtle changes that are able to be heard by a smaller creature. The smile falters. And the voice becomes a little less loud. There's a story there.
What happened to him, Tyvar? Tell me true. For the ears of a mole, no a lie.
I am sorry to say that Gideon gave his life. He died a hero, and he fought for the truth of the multiverse, when all things were lies. when everything was false, when no one was who they seemed. Kithian Iora was a hero of the Vanguard.
Where did it happen?
Between the worlds. Through the blind eternities, the ability to planeswalk is not as... It's not as special anymore. Innovation has happened on a place called Avishkar. And a tinkerer and artificer named Viva Mlado has perfected the art of artificial planeswalking. And the Vanguard is an organization that helps keep the multiverse safe. All of the planes, all of them safe. And when you have a bastion like this, there will always be opposition. And in this opposition, they targeted all of us. Replaced our closest friends and loved ones. And tried to fool us. Stole the technology used to planeswalk and used to cross the plains artificially. And tried to assassinate our leader. But Gideon was there. Gideon stopped them in the blind eternities and took the knife himself. Gave the originals, the core of the Vanguard, gave them a chance, a moment to assess. So, it happened nowhere. It happened everywhere. In the spaces in between, in the blind eternities, Gideon fell.
Are you sure? When did this happen? Because he was just on Zendikar.
A number of years ago.
Think it is what I said about time, Nadidah. We will see what your worth is, Tyvar. That is where you will teach me to go. The place where everything is everywhere and nothing is anywhere.
You pass through it when you do. When you planeswalk. It's where we all travel. It's where you can feel it. It's where you can, if you focus hard enough during the process, it's not a place, really. You have to understand, and it takes time. Even myself, I've only just begun to feel it. It's not a world that feels the same to anybody else. Our minds seek to make sense of it. It's where monsters lurk and creatures beyond comprehension come from. To go there is to planeswalk without a destination. It's to do so, and to do so with no regard to one's safety. You go without destination, you end up somewhere else. But to truly travel to nowhere, the blind eternities are savage. It's a world of teeth and claw, gnashing. It's not somewhere you can go, really.
And yet, Kithian did.
Briefly, yes.
Long enough to be killed there.
He intercepted the assassin there, yes, in the midst of his planeswalk.
So you can interrupt another, stepping between planes.
It can be done. You would need to master planeswalking first. You can't...
Does it happen often?
No.
Planeswalkers dying, I mean.
More than we would like them to be able.
What happens to their souls?
That I cannot say.
Do they go to the gods of death and the planes where they die, or do they return home?
From what I understand, they remain where they are. Nico has told me of one that passed and was trapped on the world in which it happened till she escaped the underworld.
Who is that?
Elspeth Tyrell.
I must find her. The list of other planeswalkers I must find, it is now growing. Nadidah mentioned, what was his name? Yace?
The Mind Mage. No one has seen him in some time.
We were to find you, but I found you already. Elspeth. What is she like?
I imagine a great warrior. Nico did not speak much of her.
You don't know her personally.
No. She perished. And from what I understand, at the hands of a god, I think. But there's a mixture, a blend of stories, and Nico didn't give much detail. But to conquer death and to escape an underworld, she must be quite powerful. And she's... From what I understand, the good captain has reached out to her for her assistance or her aid or to induct her into the Vanguard. To no avail. She wants nothing to do with us.
What is this? Vanguard.
It's an organization. It was built off of the idea to keep the threats that threaten the multiverse at bay. I'm not a veteran of this organization, you see. A latecomer, and only really came about and came into my own during this war, this hidden war. But they fancied the idea of this gatewatch that came before them. This Jace, this Mind Mage, your Gideon, a number of others, pledged an oath to keep the multiverse safe. To combat the threats that threatened all planes. Some whisper that the Gatewatch failed, and that the Vanguard has inherited the task. That's who they are. The ones that haven't failed yet.
You say yet like they're destined to fail eventually.
Oh no! Make no mistake, I'm of the mind that they're going to be around for a long time. I wouldn't have joined up if I didn't think so. But everything eventually becomes something else. Everything fades and moves forward. Just like the Einar. There is something that comes after, that inherits a task. The Vanguard in this iteration will change, will fade away. And as much as... Apologies. The full name is the Eternal Vanguard. And I find that quite funny. Nothing is eternal. Their mission? It might be. The organization, no. It will change, will reshape, it will grow.
You seem sharp, Tyvar.
I do certainly think so.
But you're also wrong.
How so?
There is something else that lives forever. Echoes of it are felt in simple things. There is one thing you cannot kill.
You tell.
Love. What was your father's name, Tyvar?
You wouldn't know him.
I did not ask. I just want to know his name. You see, where I come from. Well, once I leave this place anyway, because Esika said we could not pray here. When we leave this place, I will pray. And I will thank whatever force brought your father, because he brought you, and your lessons will bring me to my boy. And whatever death has claimed him is no match for me.
I admire your tenacity. But, again, I do think we are getting ahead of ourselves. First, you must learn to walk the plains. And then, you may combat gods, conquer death. Do all that you set out to do. And with me as your teacher, nothing could stop you.
Some would say with you as our teacher, the bar is not very high.
Let them say it to my face first, then. So, how many worlds have you walked thus far?
1.
Just the one.
Well,
Have you...
when we came here, we found ourselves in what did Esika call it? Immerstorm.
Terrible place. I frequent there often.
And
Why?
Where
because
best
he
to
is a
continue-
fighter.
Precisely.
Okay.
As I said, I thought Arni was like a rotting pig. Tyvar here, he is like a young buck with broad antlers. He brought us just a chance to wrestle a rival.
You see to the core of me.
Is that why you are so restless? You don't believe you have found a rival that sparks you?
None have. It is one of my greatest fears in this world that I might travel the plains and walk many worlds and still find none that could give me the joy I felt in my first fight.
Gideon would have made a fool of you.
I only met him a handful of times. I think you may be right.
Very well.
Only one world walked. All of you. So fresh and so new. This is going to be fun. Tell me then, what of your accomplishments? You say you arrived on Immersturm. You must have battled your way out, found one of the omen paths.
No. We hid. And I prayed. And Toski answered. And brought us to Esika.
Toski, the Cosmos Beast.
He prefers bearer of secrets, but yes.
Yes, A cosmos beast.
I call him bearer of comfort.
I'm sure the title will follow him. No, the cosmos beasts are not quite gods, but they are great primordial creatures that, well, depending on who you believe, predate the Skodi, predate the Einar. They were here first.
Have you stopped to think that I might be one of them and I am tricking you?
I think about it often in this conversation, little one.
Good.
You'll keep me on my toes.
Someone has to.
I look forward to it.
Well, I hate to bring the mood down, but no, I doubt this is an act of charity.
What do you mean?
We would be in your debt.
Debt? What
There
you
is no debt.
survived it?
If anything, this Tyvar is in my debt. I made a victory over Arni for him.
I suppose that could be one way of looking at it.
I'm not going to roll for insight because I, as the player, can tell that he's just being a guy. But
Just being a
Amelia's
dude.
confused, and she's just gonna like scrutinize him for a second. Like, what?
Yeah, no
You
roll
don't want
necessary.
anything from me?
Yeah, no roll necessary. The concept of a debt for him in this regard, you guys would all see that this is... He's not going to teach you for anything. He doesn't want anything in return. This is just maybe a part of an oath he made, or maybe just through the joy and fun of it. This is a new traveling group that he hasn't had probably in a while. Who's to say? There's no debt here.
There is one, or rather, maybe two more of us.
I see. And will they be joining us soon? Or will we need to go find them? Have they been captured by something? He looks a little too eager for that to be the case.
They disappeared, turned into something, mist, maybe. They became able to see through, and then some of our friends, and us included, had trouble remembering them. What does that mean to you, Tyvar?
Pauses and sort of racks his brain. Nothing. Nothing at all, and I'm afraid that I'm at a loss, but as I said, I can call on some resources. I would need to travel. And in order to do that, I would need to either leave you alone or you must come with me. And unfortunately,
Where would you go?
I would find other members of the Vanguard. I would travel to Ravnica or to Avishkar or wherever else they might be, so I might ask them the same question. Dominaria, maybe. There are others that are more experienced in this thing that may have answers. And I will call on them. But first we must teach you to walk.
I get that the mole is going to kind of climb up the side of Tyvar's cup. Looking at it.
What is this? It smells foul and sweet all at once.
That's exactly the description, yes. It's a mulled wine. It's... would you like to try it?
Just stick his snout in. Drink a little bit.
It's, as you say, it's sweet. It tastes like off berries. It's a interesting flavors for someone who's only ever tasted really water and bugs.
Why is it tasting of ick?
It is their own brew, and it's not my first choice, but it is not the worst that I've had. And he gestures to all of you as he reaches down and grabs a larger jug and pours a cup for the two of you, Amelia and Nadidah.
Amelia would take it. Smell it.
It smells of spice and older berries.
And she'll drink it. Probably not to her taste.
Likely not. This is not something like the elegant wines that the lords and ladies of Innistrad take. It is a spiced wine, a mulled wine. This is mead. This is not unpleasant, but certainly not to your palate, I don't think. So whether you like it or not is entirely up to you.
It's different.
Different can be good. And as a planeswalker, you will find many things that are different.
Ooh,
What
joy.
is a troll?
A troll! He begins to go on a long diatribe explaining what trolls are and where they dwell on the 10 realms of Kaldheim. And he gets animated. He tells a story, and even the Tuskeri come in and lean in closer, chiming in every once in a while to give examples of trolls and how large that they grow. And this is where you learn where Arni got his treasure, as he says. By headbutting a troll, he was surrounded by a number of them, and perhaps some sort of cunning. Most people have said something like cunning. He challenged the largest one instead of fighting all of them. And the exact wording used is echoed by the entirety of the Tuskeri. He told this large troll, "I challenge you, son of a hairless piglet, to a headbutting contest." And he won.
You see, I told you he was a rotting pig.
Seems that there may be less permanent to oneself ways of dealing with the problem like that, but who am I to judge? And she looks decidedly judgmental.
Tyvar gives you the description of trolls. And then, as the Tuskeri kind of seep in and give recount of this story for their leader, you find yourself surrounded, not by combatants, but by people that share meat, that share drink, that ask your names. And there's almost, they do challenge you here, not through intimidation and not through, confrontation, but there's a sort of sense here that's, you're new. Tell me a story. And so we'll close this out by asking, when challenged in this way, do you oblige? And if so, what story do you tell?
I think the mole will indulge them, and he will tell the story that he often heard his boy and his friends speak of. A legendary king of Akros by the name of Anax, ardent in the forge, chosen of Perpharos, and slayer of many monsters. Brother, of Timotheus, Pelagia, and Taranika, spouse, husband to Sanidi.
And it's a good story. And they seem quite eager.
When pressed, at first she will shake her head and say, no, it's fine. But then when pressed, I'm sure, she would sigh and let down her cup and recount how she earned, and omitting a few key details, how she earned her title for duchy, and how she slayed, I believe it was witches.
Witches of the Dawnheart Coven.
Yes. And how she used cunning and wit to undermine them. And it may not elicit the same reactions because she herself did not see combat, but she's proud of, she shows pride all the same. And when she's done, she just leans back and raises her eyebrow as if anyone would challenge her to be like, not good enough.
It's a good story. And even throughout this, expecting them not to really take to it as you didn't see combat, you gather that these warriors are not without their own sort of cunning. And the wiser among them sort of nod in appreciation. So finally, Nadidah, do you indulge them? And if so, what story do you tell?
I would indulge them. She's going to tell a story of trying to get into the Skyclave and falling and fighting to survive and getting back. Of course, exaggerating a little bit the horrors that she had to go through while she laid there after falling the hundreds of feet, and the whispers that came to her from voices of the past, telling her that it was not her time, that she had things to do and things to learn. She doesn't tell them about being able to, what happened after that, with what she can do. But she makes it a great story of survival at a very young age.
It's a good story. Throughout this, they drink, they eat, and they dub you by new titles. Amelia, Hexbreaker. The Mole, Crown Weaver. Nadidah, Spirit Caller. And this is how they will know you. And this is where we will end tonight's session of The Ignited. Thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. So we'll take this moment to go around the room and let everyone know who you are, who you've played, where they can find you.
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the social medias, including on Twitch, where I stream. Tonight, I have been one Amelia Voldaren, who is starting to learn that she can be a little more open about who she is, but not all the way.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I can be found on most social media as Cosmic Bitch with the Y, not an I. I have been playing Nadidah Isaroppia tonight, and this has truly been amazing.
Hello everyone, it's me, Avery, at Averydaboi on all the social media platforms. I style myself as something of an internet personality. I am the partnerships manager right here on the Rolling Nomads and this time zone. I have been the Mole, Hunger Striker, Crown Weaver, and Arni's Boon.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you all so much for watching. This has been an absolute pleasure. We will see you guys next time. Same place, same Planeswalkers. See you then.